What's up, TM Nation? So I finally did it. I picked up my first pair of Nothing earbuds, and after testing the Nothing Ear 3s for the past couple of weeks, these things have some pretty wild features that I've never seen in wireless earbuds before, and I will cover this a little bit later. However, looking at the total package, these are some of the most complete earbuds in terms of features and performance that I've picked up in quite a while. Before we dive in, let me just say that I went into this completely fresh to the Nothing ecosystem. I've been watching from the sidelines, and I always wanted to pick a pair up, but I just never got around to it until I was able to get my hands on a pair a few weeks back. Price-wise, the Nothing Ear 3 come in at $179, and first impressions right out of the box, the packaging is clean. You get the earbuds, 4 different sizes of silicone ear tips, and a tiny little USB Type-C cable for charging that I'll probably never use because the case does support wireless charging, which is always a plus. Also, if you pair your Nothing 3 earbuds with a Nothing phone, you can take advantage of intelligence features such as the ability to talk directly to ChatGPT from the earbuds, direct voice recording, transcription, and updated news briefs each day on the topics that you choose. Now, the case itself is where things get interesting. Nothing completely redesigned this thing, and I do have to say that it looks way more premium than the previous generation. With it, you've got this polished aluminum band that does give it some weight and makes it feel substantial in the hands rather than plastic and cheap. The transparent lid is still there, and that has pretty much become Nothing's signature look. And as you can see the earbuds through it, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Also, the case and the earbuds are IP54 water resistant, which makes the total package great for everyday use, even out in the elements. Comfort wise, these are actually pretty nice in my ears. At 4.7 grams each, they're lightweight, and the stem angles on the earbuds fit great, so even though they don't have any ear hooks or wings, they were stable for me during workouts. The 4 sizes of ear tips means that most people should be able to get a good seal, and so far I have been able to wear these for 2 to 3 hours at a time without getting any ear fatigue or discomfort. But it's also worth noting that if you happen to misplace your earbuds, there is a Find My Earbuds function inside of the app that you can trigger to help track them down. For the controls with these earbuds, they're going to be operated by pinches on the earbud stems, which I do prefer over tap controls because for me they've been more reliable. And another thing that I like about the controls is that you can customize a lot of them inside of the app. But here's where these start to stand out in the sea of Bluetooth wireless earbuds. The headline feature that everyone's been talking about, the button on the front labeled talk. And I'm not gonna lie guys, when I first saw the teasers, I was like, is this a walkie-talkie or some type of translator? Well, it's actually a microphone built right into the case itself. So if you wanna get the microphone closer to your mouth for clearer audio, you can use it. Now I know that sounds gimmicky, but stick with me because after actually using it, I think there's value to this feature. The idea is when you're on a call or in a meeting, instead of relying on the tiny mics in the earbuds, you can hold this case up and talk into it like you're using one of those old school reporter type microphones. This really comes in handy for me when I'm making voice notes, and as somebody who's constantly jotting down ideas or thoughts throughout the day, being able to quickly grab the case, hit that button, and record a voice memo was actually pretty convenient. And if you own a Nothing phone, it will automatically transcribe these for you, which can definitely come in handy.
Okay, guys, so right now I have the earbuds paired to my iPhone 17 Pro, and as you can see, the audio that you're hearing is coming from the microphones on them. All right, so now I am talking through the microphone on the case, and you want to make sure that it's about 10 centimeters away from your mouth just to get the best sound quality. So let me know what you guys think. Is this pretty clear? Is there a noticeable difference? Let me know. Now I have some simulated background noise playing in the background. And this part of the test is aimed at seeing how well the microphones on these earbuds can go ahead and focus on my speech while rejecting some of that noise. And give me a second. I am going to switch over to the microphone on the case. So now I'm talking through the microphone on the case. And again, you want to keep it about 10 centimeters away from your mouth just to get the better sound quality. So let me know what you guys think, which does a better job at focusing on my speech and getting rid of some of that noise.
Another area they excel in is in the connectivity. They are packing Bluetooth 5.4 as well as dual connect, so you can pair them to 2 different devices at once and switch between them seamlessly. And if you're a hardcore mobile gamer, they also have a low lag mode that you can toggle on or off inside of the app for a near instant response. So far, I've had no issues maintaining a great connection, but they also support LDAC for high-res audio, and the soundstage is surprisingly wide for earbuds in this price range. Moving on to the sound quality, these definitely impressed me with how clean the sound is across the board. They do pack 12mm dynamic drivers, which are larger than the previous generation, and the sound quality is genuinely excellent. Out of the box, they were on the brighter side with some nice bass too, so if I had to live with this sound, I wouldn't be mad at it. But here's where nothing shines in my opinion. Their companion app hands down has the best equalizer I've tested, and there is a bass boost toggle too that adds some extra punch on the low end if that's what you're looking for. You do have your basic EQ if you want to keep it simple, but if you go ahead and dive into the advanced mode, you get a full parametric equalizer with adjustable Q values. This is the type of control you usually only see in professional audio software, so I did go ahead and spend some time dialing in a custom EQ profile to get the sound signature that I prefer, which is more heavy on the bass and the highs, and honestly, after I played with them for about 10 or so minutes, they transformed into something really special. The clarity and detail retrieval with these is really impressive. On multiple occasions, I found myself hearing elements in songs that I had never noticed before, and I also experienced very little distortion with them, even when I had them set to the higher volumes. I also want to mention that there is a personal sound option in the app that you can enable to have the software create an EQ that is tuned to your hearing, which is a dope feature to have if you want to take the guesswork out of optimizing a sound signature that you'll enjoy. Additionally, there are pre-built EQs in the app that you can choose from, and even a library of EQs created by other Nothing earbud users that you can download and use for yourself as well. So when it comes to getting the sound that you're looking for, you have several options. Now let me go ahead and talk about the active noise cancellation performance with these, because this is where I wasn't blown away by them. Nothing claimed up to 45 dB of noise reduction with them, but in real world usage, again, I would say that they're just okay. They did not blow me away in this area. It will handle steady background noise like air conditioning or a refrigerator running, but based on my experience, they aren't going to be able to block out as much of your ambient noise as more flagship ANC earbuds such as the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra 2s or the AirPods Pro 3. I say this because while I was outside walking, I could still hear louder car exhaust tones, which is something that those other earbuds that I mentioned just about completely cancel. The transparency mode with the Nothing 3s is also decent. When I have it enabled, I am able to hear more of what's going on around me. The only thing that I don't love about it is that it's not as natural sounding as I would have liked. It doesn't sound like an amplified pass-through like what you'll get with some other earbuds. This one sounds a little bit too simulated for my liking. The battery life with these is also not spectacular, coming in at about 5 hours of use on a charge with ANC on and about 22 hours total with the case. And those numbers are on the lower end in comparison to other competitors, but I think it'll be more than adequate for most people who typically use their earbuds for an hour or two and pop them back into the case. The case does support wireless charging, as I mentioned earlier, and fast charging via USB Type-C, giving you about 10 hours of playback from just a 10-minute charge. So should you buy the Nothing Ear 3 earbuds? Well, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're someone who's looking for decent ANC for daily use, you want very good sound quality, some distinctive features, and a pretty cool but durable design, I think the Nothing Ear 3 are definitely worth considering. At $179, they are $30 more than the previous generation, and honestly, I think that premium is mostly going towards the fancier case design and that super mic feature. Like I said, I do like the new case design, and I have used the super mic feature, so I personally don't mind paying the extra 30 bucks, but whether it's worth it to you is gonna come down to how much you value those additions. But if you are looking at picking a pair of these up, make sure that you hit the link and use the code in the description for $20 off. For me, as this was my first Nothing experience, I am pretty impressed with these. The sound quality, like I said, with some minor tweaking is very good. The app experience has been fantastic, and while the super mic might seem gimmicky, I found myself using it more than I expected, especially for voice notes. So overall, guys, I am glad that I picked these up, and I will be using them in my earbud rotation. But let me know what you guys think about these. Is that talk button a feature that you would actually use? And even better, if you already own or have tried the Nothing 3 earbuds, let me know what your experience has been with them so far. Do you like the sound quality as much as I do, or do you have a different opinion? But other than that, guys, as always, I appreciate you coming through and hanging out with your boy for a while. Please do me a huge favor and hit that like and subscribe before you get on out of here if you haven't already, as it does help the channel out immensely. But until next time, I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.